Episode 3505, Time Will Tell.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for your happy dance? Because guess what? It's no longer Friday Junior. It is Friday. And on top of that, it's a holiday weekend. So come on. You know what's on the schedule. Time will tell. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. I got to tell you, I am ready to have some fun. Are you? I try to think sometimes what you're doing when you listen to me, like where you are. Are you working with the dinner dishes and dogs? Maybe you're out, working out or running. Maybe you're just ready to catch the kids and you're in line for the drop off and you're like, nope, we're not quite there yet because we don't start school until next week. Okay, wherever you are, I want you to think about what you're teaching your kids and how you're teaching them. Because I think sometimes we question ourselves as to, am I doing it the right way? Why can't the stuff you're teaching your children have a quicker impact on their decisions? Like, how many times do I have to tell you till you get it through your thick skull that this is what you need to do? And you've been telling them this since they were 1 year old. And you're like, why don't they get it when they're 17 and a half years old? It's like, hello, is it ever going to stick? Or am I just throwing spaghetti against the wall? Well, as parents, we often find ourselves seeking immediate results, expecting our efforts to yield instant success. But time will tell. No matter the emotions, the growth, and the challenges, the reality of raising kiddos is far from predictable. It's a gradual process that unfolds over time, shaping the individuals our children will become. And honestly, that's quite the adventure, isn't it? But when you're in it and you're going through the terrible two stage, or you're in the tween stage, or you're like, oh, I don't even know what stage they're in when they're the teens, because they think they're 40 years old, but they're only 14 years old. And you're like, what happened? Where did you put my child? Who is this person? Right? It is this gradual process that unfolds over time. But as we wait with frustration and uncertainty, because I know I've hit those spots myself, and not just like it was, 20 years ago, but like it was yesterday, it's crucial to remind ourselves of one simple truth. Time will tell. Each interaction, lesson, and experience with our kids contributes to their growth and development in ways we may not immediately see. We don't always see what we do with them, what we're teaching them. Why? Because we're not with them 24/7, 365. Now, I can say this. When my kiddos were much smaller, and of course we had many, right? We had 5. And one of those things of raising them, we did decide to homeschool them very early on. Our lives were hectic and it worked with our lifestyle and we loved it. And actually my children have since told me, as they now have grown and blossomed into adults, Mom, I love that you did that. Now, some of them were a little bit older, so they remember more of it. The others who were a little bit younger, they kind of remember it, but not as much. And so they have really been whisked into traditional school, homeschooling, and also private school. They've experienced it all. They've all gone through college, or our last one is in college. Actually, 3 of them have done graduate work. So it's one of those things where it's like, am I really getting across to them what they need to learn? But I'm here to tell you that each interaction that you have with them, each lesson that you teach them, an experience that you have with your kiddos, it contributes to their growth and development in ways that you aren't always going to see. You just aren't. The seeds you plant today will eventually blossom tomorrow, reminding us, yeah, Mom, Dad, we got to stay patient, kind, and authentic in our parenting journey, what it looks like. And that means you got to plant what you want to see bloom. And that is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Plant what you want to see bloom. And honestly, when you do plant a seed, have you planted one recently? We've actually been planting a little bit, taking out some of our older bushes and things like that just because of age. Our house is a little bit older, and so some of the stuff is original to the home. And some of the stuff was diseased. For example, we had some trees, and I think I shared that with you months back, that we had to remove some diseased elm trees, which was a sad thing because I absolutely love trees. But if they're diseased and we can't do anything with it, well, we don't want them to harm other trees. So we had to cut down and get rid of trees. And some were kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but it was the Leaning Tower of Treza. And they had to go down because why? Well, it was about ready to hit our roof if we had a really, really bad rain, and it would be uprooted from the bottom because we're in the roots of it. We're in the South. That's just what happens with trees. They don't just kind of break off a little bit. No, the whole tree comes up. So we got rid of those. In telling you all of this, we decided that we've got to plant some things. We need to replace them. And so, you want to see what you plant bloom. And if you know how an oak tree grows, right? You plant the acorn and you plant it, and it's oh so small. I mean, you can actually see it, right? It's not that small. It's not as small as a seed, but for a tree, it's a small seed. And you plant that. But you're not going to see this beautiful, humongous 60, 80-foot tree for decades later. In fact, maybe not even in your lifetime. But the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The best time to plant a tree now, because you missed it yesterday, is, today, to create your now. And that's what you're doing with your kiddos. You got to plant the seeds, because as you plant them, then you get to water them. You get to fertilize them. You get to reinstate them. And you get to say, hey, reminder, here, it's okay. And you get to prune them. And then eventually they grow up and they go out and impact the world that they touch. They become that huge, big, beautiful oak tree. Now, hopefully not that big, but you know what I'm saying, right? You get the story here, right? Okay. So we just can't expect that when we plant a seed that all of a sudden we're going to see a flower unless we literally start with a flower and then we plant it. Then we already have that growth, right? It's already there and it already can be seen. However, most of the time, we don't get it that way. Why? Well, we got to go through the stages of life. And we as parents have to go through the stages of life. It's called the stages of parenting. They're going through the stages of development and growth. And guess what? Both of us are growing. The parents are and the kiddos are. So what does it look like to plant what you want to see bloom? Well, in my opinion, it starts with this. Be patient in actions. Take the time to listen actively to your child's concerns and thoughts without rushing to provide solutions. Now, this is hard. This is a mama who can talk and talk and talk and talk. And I'm usually about 5 to 10 sentences or thoughts ahead of whoever I'm speaking to. So I have to tell myself, slow down, listen, it's okay. I have to be patient in my actions and even my words. Allow your child to make mistakes and learn from them, resisting the urge to intervene at the first sign of struggle. Now, I'm not saying you don't share with them your ideas, but guess what? They get to make the decision. Now, if they're underage, that's a different conversation, right? But they have to be a part of the decision, whether they're 2 years old, 12 years old, or 20 years old, or on up, right? 82 years old. They still have to make the decision. They are a part of it. So embrace the journey of growth and development, recognizing that progress takes time and consistent effort. So maybe you're in a situation right now with your kiddo that you know that if they keep doing what they're doing, it's not going to be good for them. We have been telling one of our kiddos a few things in regards to what they're choosing to do with their life. And we're like, if you would just look at it this way and then do this, but this child of mine thinks that I need to do it this way. And we have watched and waited and watched and waited. And now finally, the real adventure begins. Why? Because a decision was made, action was finally taken, and yes, let the adventure begin. And it's so exciting. But let me tell you, it's one of those things where you're like, will we ever get to the other side? Time will tell. You have to be patient in your actions. And that is so hard, let me tell you. It is so hard because you just want to shake them up sometimes and say, why will you not listen to me? Whether they're 2 months old, 2 years old, you get the progression, right? Yes, it is what it is. But if you're patient, it will happen. But time will tell. Number 2, you have to be sweet in your words. Express your love and appreciation for your child through kind words and gestures, reinforcing their self-worth and confidence. Now, sometimes that might mean actually showing them by doing something for them, following up with words and expressions, right? Or gestures. Maybe it's a hug. I know this is crazy, and no, Nestle is not a sponsor of this program, but one of my kiddos loves Nestle's Crunch. And it's one of those things that's like, this kiddo is just really trying hard and working hard and doesn't want to overdo it. But I thought, what a nice treat. And one of my other kiddos likes it too. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get a little mini bag of them. Well, it's actually a bag, but inside their mini one. So I didn't get a huge candy bar or anything like that. And I'm like, you can enjoy a sweet treat once in a while. And I put it in the bowl and there they are. Right? They get to manage their time. They get to do that. It's just a little thing of saying, hey, I think you're awesome. And here you go. Was just thinking about you. Now, I didn't say, I got these for you. So, if you wanted something sweet and you're so amazing and you're so incredible and it's so great to have you home. I didn't go into all of that. I just said, here, I bought this for you. Here's just something little. What a smile, right? Be sweet in your words. Encourage positive communication by creating a safe space for your child to express their feelings and emotions without judgment. Now, I can tell you this. As your kids get older, they're going to want to talk politics every once in a while. And in this world of politics, it can be a little bit, kind of dicey. Well, and in our household with 5 children, 7 of us, and we're growing, expanding, right? We've got the grandbabies. Oh, yeah, politics. It's a very interesting conversation. I don't always like to have the conversations. Why? Well, because some of my kids, they want me to have a dissertation ready to have the conversation with them. The other ones, they just know that I'm going to already have my mind made up and I really don't want to hear anymore. And so whatever you say is not going to sway me. And they want to be ones who can sway my decision, right? So I've got all spectrums. One thing I've learned is that you've got to encourage positive communication. And as much as I don't sometimes want to have those conversations, especially around politics, it's important to. And sometimes it doesn't always come at the right time, like when I'm watching football, tennis, and an interview that I'm curious about. Yes, all at the same time because that's how I roll. You got to be sweet in your words. You also got to use your words of encouragement and praise to uplift and motivate your child, fostering a sense of positivity and support. In other words, ask them questions about their day. Actually want to get to know what they're doing. Don't make an assumption that they're going to come tell you, whatever their age is. Okay? I know life is crazy, but you got to make time for your kiddos. Why? Because time will tell. And then finally, number 3, be sincere in your attitude. There's got to be a sincerity there. If you have this attitude of like, I am mom and mom always knows best. Now, I will say I do cop that attitude once in a while. Why? Because I am mom and I have that right as mom. But as I get older, I have to understand that they get to figure out their way in the world. I don't have to agree with it, but they get to figure it out. So I have to be sincere in how they're growing up. And all I can do is literally lead by example, by demonstrating honesty, integrity, and authenticity in my words and actions. You can do the same thing. That means you're modeling it. Also, show genuine interest in your child's interests, their hobbies and experiences. Go do things that they like to do. You may not like it. Now, I'm not saying go jump off, a cliff or something, and what do they call those things? Why can I not think of it now at the top? You're strapped to the belt and then you go deep dive in. Yeah, no, you will not find me doing that. Now, I might climb up the side of a building. I wouldn't go skydiving. 2 of my 5 children have gone skydiving. All of us have done inside skydiving. Well, except for me, I just took all the pictures. I didn't need to because I honestly thought I would be a little sick. Not because, anyway, I just didn't want to go there, okay? I think I would have done it, but I wanted them to do it, and it was just easier. And so I had them all do it, and it was fabulous. But 2 of our children actually have jumped out of the airplane and gone skydiving, and that's fabulous. I've seen the pictures. I don't need any more than that. I'm thrilled, right? But I do show genuine interest. Even though I don't want to go, I want to know that they enjoyed it. What did it feel like when they jumped out of the plane? When you show that genuine interest, you're building a strong bond based on a trust and mutual respect of saying, I may not like what you're doing. Your hobby doesn't necessarily interest me, but you interest me, so that's why I am interested. Make sense? My kiddos do some crazy things. They are all brilliant in their own right. And I just got to say, I learn from them every single day. They teach me things. I'm like, oh, I wish I had time to learn that, but I just don't right now. I'm working on Create Your Now. We've got things happening with the house and the water and the building. And oh my goodness, I'm painting every wall and changing all the floors. It's crazy. And then I'm trying to work on not only renovating, but also relocating. And it gets a little crazy. I don't have time, and I'm supposed to deal with the dinner dishes and dog too? Seriously? Yeah, that's called my mom duties. But when you approach parenting with a sincere and open heart, that's when you can be fully present and engaged in each moment you share with your child. That's what matters, Mom. Come on, Dad, you got to be present. Remember, time will tell the story of your dedication, love, and unwavering commitment to consistency in shaping a bright future for your child. And that's the key. Time will tell. So be patient with yourself. Be sweet in your words and be sincere in your attitude. I promise you, you're making a greater difference than what you know. Why? Because you're taking one step at a time that's going to lead you and your child to miles and miles of greatness. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend and a blessed Labor Day holiday weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life, and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.